welcome to our second video. Okay, so today we're going to be showing you our 2023 knits. So this is everything that we've made in 2023.
Yes, we were busy.
Okay, so my mom is going to go first.
Okay, so at the end of 2022, kind of right around the beginning of 2023, I made this very long stocking. It's called Not on the Naughty List stocking, and it's by Remembrances Pottery. And I think the idea is every, maybe a couple of inches is supposed to be one of the Advent minis. So it's a really cute pattern.
My mom did a lot of knitting. She did a lot more than me in 2023.
Well, I have a lot more time. You know, she's always with school and modeling and everything. So okay, so then I made this cute little tee. It's got garter stitch on the top, and then on the bottom, I'm gonna scooch these over. On the bottom is brioche. So I used for this Lindsay's 2022 Valentine's Day box, and I had been saving it. Usually I get dibs on one of her kits. So I saved this until I knew what I wanted to make, and then Knitgraffiti came out with this really cute pattern, and I knew I wanted to use it for it. So I love it.
Cute.
Then I used Lindsay's 2023 Advent, as well as Chelsea Luxe, her Advent. Christina and Lindsay always swap Advents, which is super fun because then I get to use different colors. So I love this. Not only I love the colors, but I also love this design. This is the Color Play sweater by Beth MacDonald Stone. And I know last video I was talking about her festive sparkle sweater. And I'm not kidding. I love her designs. They're always really easy to knit, and they're so cute. I mean, look at these puff sleeves. These puff sleeves are everything. Look at those. Those are so cute. So that's what this make is. And again, I used sprinkled fibers and Chelsea Luxe, and I held it double. It's fingering weight held double, or I think the pattern might call for DK, but I wanted to use both Advents. So, yay!
Yay! Okay, so the first thing I made was this Inclinations shawl, and this is by Andrea Knits. So that's what it looks like. I did it in all purples. And I really like this because it's really repetitive, and that's kind of like what I like to knit. So I think it was 6 different colors. I don't even remember. I feel like I knitted this like 5 years ago.
5, 6, I want to say 7.
Okay. And it's like a certain kind of stitch. I don't remember how to do it, but it wasn't too hard, and this went by pretty fast for me.
Did
Super
you show
easy.
them the back?
Yeah. It's like a little point. Can you see?
Yeah, it's kind of like a wedge.
So yeah, I really enjoyed knitting this. This one's by Andrea Knits.
Awesome.
Okay, we're back in our second outfit.
So I'm wearing a sweater that I actually still wear even though I had a mishap. So this is the Twigs sweater by Junko Okamoto. She has really beautiful designs. The only problem for me was this sweater ended up being really big. So I don't know if you can see how long it is on me. What happened is I made this and it was probably like 3 times too big for me. I'm only 5'2". She's 5'11", so I mean, she never has this problem. So I'm 5'2", and this ended up being really long, like almost to my knees. So I did what most knitters don't do, and I blocked it. I probably should have just steam blocked it, and then it wouldn't have grown so much. But I completely soaked it because it's so much color work design. So I blocked it, and then it was massive, even bigger, and so I put it in the dryer, and I put it on really low, and I just put it in with a couple of little balls, those little wool balls. Unfortunately, the balls made it felt. Her designs are so cute, but you just have to be careful if you don't have the right size. Then, you know, she only does one size. So if it's not the right size for you, it might be a little difficult. So I'm going to keep that in mind the next pattern that I make by her. Again, this is called the Twigs sweater by Junko Okamoto.
Cute. Okay, so the next thing that I made was the Pressed Flowers Cowl by Savory Knits. And here, hold Bunny. So I did it in this hot pink and purple, and I love any of the pressed flowers patterns. I already made the shawl a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I also love this because it's kind of repetitive. So even though it looks a little complicated with the flowers, it's once you like learn how to do it, you just keep doing it over and over and over.
The mosaic stitch?
Yeah. But yeah, I love it because it has cute little flowers on it. And I sold DK kits for this way back when I made it. But yeah, it's super easy and fast.
And the mosaic is so pretty, and it makes it kind of thick, which is nice for a cowl. So
yeah.
Yay. Okay, next I have the Cambito sweater, and this is by Katrin Schneider. And I used all stash for this. Actually, a friend of mine who I knit with, she sent me a bunch of minis, and we did a little exchange last year. And then I used Sprinkle Fibers stash as well as her minis, and I made this sweater. So I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but it's pretty long. It's a big boxy knit. And then what made it so cute is, I mean, it's perfect for like leggings or whatever you want to wear. And then also what I love is that I held the fingering weight with mohair, and it's really soft and fuzzy.
We're back in our third outfit.
So this is the Shifty sweater by Andrea Knits, and I think you can see the whole thing from here. I love this sweater. It's super cute with the, I don't know what you call this stitch, but it shows, it's like garter mixed with like a little, almost like a little bump.
Kind of like seed stitch.
Yeah, kind of like seed stitch. And for this, I used Sprinkled Fibers. She dyed the light pink for me. And then I also held it with her bunny box from 2022. So we'll show you a picture of that. And what it is different chunks of color, and then I used also some mohair that was in my stash. So it shows the different chunks of color is because of the bunny box. And then the mohair I kind of coordinated with it based on the color. So again, this is the Shifty sweater by Andrea Knits.
Okay, the next thing I made, which took me a long time, was this Undertones shawl by Hedgehog Fibers. And this is my advent from 2022. And it's basically a huge shawl. And I made it like super long. So it's pretty like, it's huge. And it took me a while to finish this because I held it this is sock weight, so I just held it like normal. This year I held my advent double, so it went way faster. But this one was also pretty easy and repetitive as well. I really enjoy patterns that I can just memorize and then just work on it. So I don't know. We should measure it and tell you. We'll measure it. And we'll tell you how long it is, and we'll put it up on the screen. This is huge. I mean, when she went to block it, it was like we had to lay out those blocking pads, and we kept having to lay them out, you know, like, and then do the next chunk, and then lay them out and do the next chunk. This thing is so long.
So
Yeah.
we have a lot of lens that we never cut off, I guess. So, okay. So next I have my Soldotna by Boyland Knits. And I mean, I would think this is one of the most knitted patterns because I've seen so many versions of this. I wanted to make this so that it would be kind of like around Valentine's Day, kind of a cute little, I guess, sweetheart kind of color work pattern. So Lindsay dyed up this kit for me, and then she ended up making Soldotna kits. But I wanted it to be, you know, like reds and pinks and a little bit of turquoise and everything. And it's so easy. I highly recommend this. If you've never made a colorwork sweater, this is a great one to start with. So anyways, DK, I think it actually calls for maybe worsted, but I used DK and I love the fit. One thing that I did do different is I made kind of a little puff, I think they call this maybe a balloon sleeve, where it's bigger and then it goes, you know, down into a little tighter wrist.
And we're back.
So this is by Boyland Knits. Just like my Soldotna, this Swoncho was so fun to make. It's all color work in the yoke, and then it has these little sleeves, and then it goes into kind of like a little poncho bottom. And Lindsay made kits for this, and they were really fun, like a bunch of colors that she just, you know, thought up, and then we made them into kits. And for me, I wear a lot of black leggings, and so I wanted to have something with the dark color as the base. So again, this is the Swoncho by Boyland Knits.
So the next thing that I made was the Saturday Shrug by Katrin's Knits, and I sold kits for this as well. And this is made from worsted and mohair combined. And how many stripes is it? 7?
No, 1,
8?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
9.
8, 9, 10. 10 colors.
And it's 10 colors. And this was also a very quick and easy knit. It's literally just ribbing, and then you increase a little bit so it can turn into this sort of like poncho shrug. Is that what you call it? Yeah,
kind of like a little shrug. It can also...
You can also wear it as a cowl.
Which, she knit this, I would say, slightly tight because the mohair isn't as flexible. So I think the mohair made it kind of a little bit tighter. And so based on their design, on Jackie Rose's design from Caddy Jacks, I think, you know, it got a little bit snug. On her, it's fine though, but she is, you know, pretty skinny. But I think as a cowl, it looks really cozy and comfy. So
yeah, I love it.
And we'll show you a picture of the kits. They were so pretty, and her little sister, Sprinkle Fibers, paid her, and she wound everything. So we kind of all helped a little bit, but she did the majority of the winding, and it was a lot. I think we calculated the amount, and it was like thousands of yards.
Oh my gosh, because we didn't want to sell each color because that would have cost so much. So we decided to split up the skeins so that way it was more affordable. And then you literally just knit and used all of the yarn that you got in the kit instead of having a lot left over.
Yeah. And that's something that Lindsay really tries to do a lot, is if she can, make them into kits that are a little more affordable. Instead of, if you don't really need a full skein for something, she'll try to make it into a smaller amount, and then we'll either wind it or she'll use a mini or something like that. So we try. And then this is my Twists and Turns by Stephen West. This was a mystery knit along from 2022. So I finished it in 2023, just in time to be able to start the 2023 Westknits make along or mystery knit along. And Lindsay made me this kit. She makes kits every year for the Westknits mystery knit along because it's one of our favorites. I love doing his. I think I've done his mystery knit along every year. I mean, I probably have at least 7 or 8 of them. And you learn so much in these designs. So he always has things that, I mean, like even this braided detail, which ends up, you know, then you fasten it kind of to this next section. I don't know where he comes up with this. It's literally so, he's a genius. He's a knitting genius. So this was the front, I'm sorry, this is the back panel, and then it goes into these sides. I'll try to, maybe you can hold those up. And you'll have this cable detail down at the bottom. So this cable detail down at the bottom. And then you add on, if you want to, this little I-cord detail that you weave into the braid of the cable. And then everything is always finished on his, well, really on all of his designs. He uses an I-cord edge, and it makes it just so clean and neat. So,
would you say this one's more advanced?
His designs usually are more advanced. Like he usually will have a little bit of brioche, which I know some people don't like brioche or they feel like it's a little scary. This one did not have brioche. So he did a really pretty like little wave design here. I don't think there was any brioche in this one. Let's look at the back again. But the thing with Westknits, with Stephen West, he makes a video of literally every row. So if you, I mean, you'll do this whole section and you can just follow along on his video, and he shows every row of like, okay, do this and then move on to the next step, and he'll show a video of that. So it's really great. We're back. So this is my pressed flowers sweater. I wanted to try the pressed flowers mosaic knitting. Lindsay had made her pressed flowers shawl, which we'll show a picture of it here. And she made kits for that, and that was a while ago. Then she made this the pressed flowers cowl, which she showed you earlier in this video, and so I thought I really want to try this whole pressed flowers movement going on. So I made the pressed flowers sweater, and she made kits for this, and she sold them. And it's basically a fade, a 3-skein fade. So I had the peach. It's a really light peach down to the getting into a darker coral, into an actual coral, and then kind of a lighter lavender with violet main color. So, and it was so fun to make. This pattern, you don't get bored with it because you're always, you know, changing, and then the mosaic keeps you interested, and then all of a sudden a little flower will pop up. So anyways, I highly recommend it. This is by Savory Knits, the pressed flowers pullover. What are you wearing?
Okay, so I'm wearing the Fragmentation Shawl by Stephen West, and I loved this one, and I especially love my colors. It's 7 colors, it's sock weight, and I also thought this one was really interesting to knit. It's not how I've ever knit anything before. Here, let me see if I can show you. So you make this little like garter tab at the beginning, and then each panel is done individually. So I made the first one, and then you do the second and connect that to the first, and so on. It does require like a certain stitch. That's how you attach each panel. And Stephen West, again, he makes a video for all of his patterns, which is super nice. And I really like this one also because it was really repetitive. So I could kind of just do it without looking at the pattern. And this one didn't have any brioche or anything. And I would say this is like one of his easier patterns to make. So
let's hold it up so they can see.
So if you want to knit like a Stephen West pattern, this one's super fun.
That is so pretty, and yeah. I love how it staggers the colors. They're staggered. And
it's all just like garter stitch. So pretty simple, and then he does a little I-cord border, his signature, but... And
Lindsay's signature ends are here.
Wow.
Okay, next I have the Sosu Knits Mystery Knit Along. So I love her Mystery Knit Alongs. I did one last year, and her pattern, I'm sorry, not last year, but 2022, it was stunning. Unfortunately, we're only showing you 2023, but this was this year's 2023's, and as you can see, it was called Brioche Mode. and it's very modular. I really enjoyed knitting it because I learned a lot. You make it in chunks and you're picking up stitches and then brioching that, and then you pick up another, you know, area and you're garter ridging that, or garter knitting that, garter stitch knitting that. And then the whole time you're making an I-cord edge. Okay, we're back. So next I have the Halloween, and this is by Telly Knits. This was her pattern from last Halloween, and I thought it was so cute. I love the little motif. Her color work was really cute. The pumpkins, the ghosts, and then Lindsay made kits for this, and she sold these as little Halloween kits, and it was really fun. It's just like a little fingering weight, easy to wear cowl. And then I love, she kind of always has this, well, at least two of her designs have this little, like it's a cowl, but it's also kind of like a little shawl, which I think is super cute. Again, this is Telly Knits, and it's in fingering weight.
Okay, the next thing I made was this DK Shrug, and we made up the pattern. So it was super easy again. I used 7 colors, and basically I just knitted it in sections. So I would do like the first color and then stripe it with the next one, then do the next color, stripe it, and so on. And then you kind of increase along the way. So I started at the top. Uh-oh, my dog is barking. So I started at the top and then moved down, and it turned into this cute little like cowl poncho. Shrug thing. And it was super easy. It's just like ribbing.
This isn't her normal color palette, but it was really fun to try something new. She did it more in a fall palette, and I personally have fallen in love with this color right here, gingerbread. So you're going to be seeing that more in my knitting. I'm just a little forewarning, because I love that color, and then I'm going to try to get her to make some more of that color in different kits.
And I don't really enjoy making it.
Why?
It's just a hard color to make.
Oh, okay. Well, when you see this, just know that she worked hard. So she made this fall shrug, and with this fall kind of palette, and then everyone loved it. I should say a lot of people loved it. So she made a winter palette and people could still knit this same shrug design that we just kind of came up with. And then she did a winter 2.0 and had another winter palette. Next, I have my Haunted House Mystery Knit Along, again by Telly Knits. So this was super fun. You start on day 1. I'm sorry, you start on day 13, and which is this year I think it happened to be Friday the 13th. So it was like, it was perfect. So you start on day 13, and each section, it was so cute. Telly Knits she is so adorable. You can literally see that they're little bats, they're little brooms. Then she went into color work, bats, pumpkins, little ghosts, little tombstones, and it was just really cute. And Lindsay wanted to make kits for it, but not your typical, you know, because the Halloween already was your typical Halloween colors.
And I know not everyone loves orange, so we made the pumpkins like pink.
Yeah, super cute.
I made it more like purpley and stuff.
Yeah. So this is a sprinkled fibers version of Halloween.
The next thing I made was the Casa Pinka MKAL, and this was her 2023. So I love knitting Casa Pinka's patterns because you never know what it's gonna look like, and she always does really interesting like patterns and stitches, and every section is different. You start right here and you knit upwards, and then you cast off, and then you start knitting this way, and then you cast off. And then I think you start knitting the other way, and then you cast off, and then you pick up all of the stitches at the bottom to make this little white, I made it in white, but this little border on the edges. And then you cast off, and then you pick up stitches again to knit the little ends, which are these like little triangle sections. So it sounds like a lot of work, but I really enjoyed it.
Now, did you like this even though you couldn't memorize the pattern and just keep going?
Yeah.
Because she's a college student, so her favorite thing is just to, you know, listen to lectures online or whatever she needs to do, and then she'll just sit there and knit, which is awesome. But this one I don't think you can do that with. Yeah. You have to pay attention maybe.
Yeah, but it's still pretty simple. Like all the stitches are kind of like variations of knits, purls, yarn overs, increases. You like slip a lot of stitches and carry it over to make these like little designs and stuff. So if you're a beginner knitter, like this one is really fun to make also.
Awesome. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to show you, I was sweating making these because I really wanted to have them done before Christmas. So Field Wonderful, she came out with this design just, I think maybe right at the beginning of December, and as soon as I saw these stockings, I knew I wanted to make them for each of us. So Lindsay's little sister, her name's Lily, and you'll see her every now in the video, but she is, her family nickname is Squirrel. So my dad has named her Squirrel since she was little, and Field Wonderful came out with this adorable squirrel stocking. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, yes, I have to make that for Squirrel. So I wrote her name, I embroidered her name at the top and then made a little acorn. So I made the squirrel, and then remember, this is my favorite new color, gingerbread. Okay, so we call Lindsay, in our home we call her Sis. So ever since she got a little sister, her name has always been Sis. And so I made the little deer, because Lindsay is like a deer. She's got these long legs and she's very graceful. She used to be a dancer. And then I also put Sis on hers. So she had this cute deer design. And then, so this next one is a bunny for our 4-pound Yorkie, whose name is Bunny, but somehow her name has changed into Bear. So Lindsay started calling her Bear, and it's just stuck now, so I put Bear on her stocking. And then last but not least, there was a little bird, and so that was for me. And not that I mean, the only way I think that I'm maybe a bird is I'm watching over everybody. I don't know, I'm not really a good singer, and I think birds are known for good singing, but I put Mom. And then this one's kind of hard to see right now in the video, but it's a soft, like tannish pink. So I finished those just in time to have them up for Christmas, and I was super happy because then I was able to start my Advent knitting. And we'll show you that next year.
The last thing that I made, which was kind of funny, is I made Bunny. I made her a little dress and then matching booties. And she did not love the booties very much, but that was just something fun that I made for her.
You crocheted it? Yeah, I crocheted it.
Okay, so I think that's it for what we made in 2023. It was a productive year. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and hopefully we'll make a lot this year.
And thank you for sitting through all of this. I know this ended up being a long video, but we wanted to show you all the fun things that you can knit as well. Most of the kits, or actually all of the kits, are sold out, but you can always use, you know, stash or order some yarn from Lindsay if you want to make anything that we've shown you. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments down below, and she'll do her best to answer you. And then if you have a question and it's something that we think everybody would want to know the answer to, we'll put it in the next video and just answer it so that you guys know anything that needs to be said. So anyways, thanks again. See you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Hi. Welcome to our second video.
To kind of like keep it from keep it from fluffing up, you know, keep it from like just rolling around in the dryer like that. I thought maybe the balls would help it.